As the first light of dawn broke, the valley of Hijr suddenly trembled with a terrible roar. The air went still, and the voices of the people stopped. Suddenly, the mountains split open, and out came an enormous she-camel. People trembled in fear and stepped back. Everyone exclaimed, "This is a blessing from Allah." When this people were destroyed because of their arrogance and wrongdoing, a few believing people who followed the guidance of Prophet Hud, peace be upon him, and accepted faith were saved. In return, Allah protected them from the great punishment. After the calamity, the air became completely calm. Only broken houses and the smoke of destruction remained in the valley. The surviving people looked at one another and said, "Praise be to Allah. We obeyed the words of Prophet Hud. If Allah had not protected us, we would have been destroyed too." These believers then left the valley and began their journey toward new land. The journey was long, difficult, and painful, yet they needed a place for their descendants, a land with water, prosperity, and peace. They traveled through the mountains of Najd and Hijaz. Eventually, they discovered a nearly inhabited area called Al-Ula, with springs of water, gardens, and fertile land. Here, their descendants began to grow. From here, the people progressed, and their children eventually reached the valley that is now known as Madain Saleh. Thus began the people of Thamud. Their descendants became extraordinarily strong. Allah granted them physical strength, intelligence, technical skill, the ability to carve mountains, and natural land for settlement. They carved entire cities inside the mountains. They built palaces in the fields and houses by carving the mountains. They had royal governance, marketplaces filled with lights, trade, bustle, and the glow of lamps at night. The valley had gardens, date palms, and the sweet fragrance of the earth. But then pride overtook them. They thought, "We created everything with our strength and intelligence." When their power deceived them, their hearts hardened. They turned the carved statues in the mountains into gods and began worshiping artificial power, forgetting Allah. They said, "We are the strongest on earth. It is our right to oppress the weak, take their wealth, and make the leaders' desires into law," as if creating their own rules instead of following Allah's laws. Corruption, disorder, and sin became common among the people of Thamud. Their usual saying was, "We can carve houses from mountains, no one can stop us." They falsely believed that all rules were the result of their own power. They had forgotten that everything is given by Allah, and everything is taken by Allah. In this valley, a luminous child was born into the family of Ubayd bin Masik. His name was Saleh, peace be upon him. From childhood, he showed gentleness, wisdom, light, deep thinking, and a natural attraction toward righteousness. The elders often said, "This boy is no ordinary child. His words have depth." When Saleh became a young man, his behavior was completely different. The worldly pleasures did not attract him. He spent time alone, remembering Allah. One night, Allah granted him prophethood. Saleh, peace be upon him, went to his people and said, "Worship Allah alone. You have no deity except Him." The leaders of the people laughed and said, "Until yesterday you were our clever companion. Today you prevent us from worshiping what our ancestors worshipped. We knew you well." Saleh, peace be upon him, explained gently, "This valley, these buildings, these natural resources are a gift from Allah. Be grateful and do not commit shirk." But the people ignored him. They said, "If you are truly a prophet, show us a sign." The leaders demanded, "Let a living she-camel come out of the mountain, then we will believe." Saleh, peace be upon him, prayed to Allah. Instantly, the color of the valley changed. The mountains split open. Everyone was amazed by the light. Then a massive she-camel emerged. This was no ordinary camel. The Quran describes it as a sign from Allah. The camel drank water from the well all day, leaving the people without water. But Allah provided a solution. The next day, the well would fill with the camel's milk. One day the camel drank water, the next day the people could drink. But the people could not bear this test. The leaders plotted. A wealthy woman said, "Whoever kills this she-camel, I will marry my daughter to him." Young men agreed. That night, the camel was killed. The people shouted, "We have killed the camel. Now all the water is ours." For this crime, the promised punishment was coming. Saleh, peace be upon him, came with tears in his eyes and said, "What have you done? You have killed Allah's sign. Now only a few days remain for you." In the following days, the people's faces began to change, first yellow, then red, then black. The smell of death filled the valley. Before dawn, the sky trembled, the mountains shook, a terrifying roar was heard, and with one scream, the entire people were destroyed. The Quran states that a single shout destroyed them. Saleh, peace be upon him, stood at the edge of the valley and said, "I warned you, but you did not heed." Even today, the valley proves that rejecting Allah's signs does not protect you with buildings or wealth. Only faith can save you. If you enjoyed this Quranic story, like the video. Comment which people's story you want to see in the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.